Hey guys, I got something exciting to show you guys. Rio Grande Game sent me a box of their games. And I'll be totally upfront, I'm surprised they even thought of me in doing that. So Rio Grande Games, thank you so much for even thinking of me. I'm excited to get these games to the table. I'm excited to show these games. They are a staple in the board game community. They've been around for many years, I think going on 30 years. If you like deck building games, if you like Euro strategy games, then you need to check them out. You know, they're top of the line. So let's get started. I'm going to go over these. I got a box in the mail. I'm just going to go over real quickly, and then we're going to do a box opening for one of them. And then I want to hear from you guys, which game do you think I should play first? So the first one we're going to go over is Friday. So this is a solo game. So the thing about solo games is I don't play solo games, but I've been very interested. I've actually backed 2 solo games recently. One of them's already showed up. I haven't had the opportunity to show you guys. And then when I saw this a couple months ago, it really intrigued me. And so what I want to do is to be able to play some more games. Sometimes I need to play them by myself. I have a big game coming, Dragon Eclipse, which I really think I'm going to have to play solo. So I'm just trying to get some practice in to see what I think about it. So this is a deck building solo game. So I love deck building games, and so I'm excited to play this. You are helping Robinson Crusoe, comes on your deserted island, and you need to help him. And so I'll let you guys know as soon as I get this played. I'll let you guys know what I think about it. All right, the next game is Dominion Rising Sun. So if you know me, you know I've already went over this. I love deck building games. So Dominion wasn't the first deck building game I played, but it's one of the best. It was probably the second deck building game that I ever played. When I started researching that mechanism, this was all over the place. If you talk about deck building games, Dominion's coming up in the conversation. It's one of the best. So what I like about Dominion is when you win a game of Dominion, you won because you had the best strategy. So in other deck building games, and I haven't played all of them, of course, but you know, there's a pool of cards that you get to choose from. When you buy that card, no one gets that opportunity anymore. That card's gone. And so if it's your turn and you just have the right card played in this pool at the right time, where you have the right amount of resources to buy it, and it's like one of the best cards, then you have somewhat of an advantage that no one else had. So sometimes you can win those games because of that advantage, where Dominion's totally different. You know, all the cards are placed. Everyone has the same opportunity to buy the same amount of cards, you know, to an extent. You know, they'll run out at some point. But you had an opportunity to get those cards. And so if you win, in my opinion, you know, yes, there's luck. And there's luck in every game, some form of luck. So there is some luck of how those cards come out when you play them. But you built the best deck. And you had the best plan. And so that's one thing that I really love about Dominion. Plus, they have so many expansions that, I mean, there's so many different cards that do so many different things. So really the sky's the limit. So I already own one expansion. I got a couple of Dominion games back here, the base game. And then Intrigue, which I really like. So this will be the 3rd game in my collection. So thank you for that, Rio Grande Games. And then the last game is Woodcraft. So Woodcraft is a game where I saw this, and I don't really know all the history behind it, but I think I looked it up today, and it said it came out in 2022, but I'm sure I saw this last year on Kickstarter or GameFound, and I almost backed it. And I looked at it, and it really, I'll be honest, it really didn't interest me at the time, and I was backing on a lot of games for the channel to show you guys. And so I thought about it, but I never did it. But then it came out, and I started seeing more content on it. I started looking at it more, started researching it, and started seeing how the game was played. And man, I fell in love with it. So I just got back from a cruise. You guys know that. And on that cruise, I almost bought this game. The only reason I didn't was because it was going to show up while I was gone. I was like, no, you know what, I'll wait. And then I got in contact with Rio Grande Games, and they sent this to me, and I'm just extremely excited about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this game up. We're just going to go over some of the components, and then we'll come back here. We'll go over a couple things. So let's get to the table, and let's open this up. Alright guys, this is Woodcraft, a game designed by Vladimir Suchy and Ross Arnold. So I'm excited. I've never played a Vladimir Suchy game. He's got a lot of games. I believe he makes a lot of games with Rio Grande Games. But let's get into it. Alright, let's see what's inside. Now, I'm no expert. I know very little about this game. It does look interesting. Let's go over as much as I know here. So, first thing here is the dice. Now, what I do know is that the dice comes in 3 different colors. This is for different levels of wood. There's mechanisms in the game that you can cut, glue, and do different things with these dice. I know there's you can manipulate the dice to make it go to the number that you need. I'm not, so that's part of it. All right, plenty of Ziploc bags. That's always good. Here's some of the cards. These cards, I believe, are for fulfilling orders. I believe there's helper cards that, people that would come work for you. One aspect of being able to fulfill orders is, being able to have the proper amount of wood and different components. So like in this particular card, this is one thing I really liked about this game, or what drew me to this game, was for this card, from what I understand, and there's probably other aspects of things you need to do, but the type of wood that you would need is, there's different types of wood. So you need the 2 yellow, and you'd have to have these specific dice, 2 3s, and then this type of wood for number 1. And like I said, I'm sure you need, I know there's blueberries here, which we're going to go over that. That's currency. You may need that as well. But I really like that about this game. Alrighty, so here are some action tiles here. And these are the blueberries. These are the currency in the card. This art tile, I'm not sure what that is. Okay. Alright, here's some other blueberries. And I think these may be splicing tiles for splicing the wood together. All right, this is the scoreboard. This is for keeping score. And this is an income board. So I do know there's an income aspect to the game. Just another mechanism in the game that makes it interesting. All right, so these are the different player components. You have 4 different player. It's a 1 to 4 player game. So you have your orange, blue, purple, and white, and then the counters that I believe would that you would use on the scoreboard, I think. All right, here's some components. You have, I know this one is for the round counter, to go through the rounds. Then you have the silver is the saw blade tokens, and the brown being the scrap wood tokens. All right, and these are glue tokens. Very cool components. Simple but nice. Here's some of their cards. All right, here we got tool tokens and lanterns. I'm not really sure exactly what you use of those. You have different flower pots and saw blades. And this piece goes on to the main board. Now this is one thing that really drew me to this. It goes here and it rotates. And so I believe there's action cards that go on this board. And as they stay on the board over time, they become more powerful. They're worth more. And so I really like that in games, as an unutilized piece stays in one location, it becomes more powerful. That makes it really interesting. And then here are the individual player boards. Pretty cool. All right, guys, that was a lot of the components in Woodcraft. So I know this was very basic, so I hope you enjoyed it. Let's get back to the top and let's go over some more stuff. All right, guys, that was Woodcraft. That was awesome. This is a great game. It looks like a lot of fun. So I want to know from you guys 2 things. Number 1, and just comment, is have you played Rio Grande Games? If so, which one's your favorite game? They have a lot of games out there. And then also, out of these 3 games, which one do you want to see content on next? And I know I mentioned Woodcraft, but it doesn't have to be that game. It can be any one of these games. I'm excited to get all of them to the table and can't wait to do so. So let me know. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you for watching. And then last, Rio Grande Games, thank you so much for sending this to me. You don't know how much of a blessing this is, and you don't know how awesome you guys are. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And everyone, just have a wonderful and great day, and we'll see you next time.